Hello guys, this is Paula back today. I'm sorry you haven't heard from me in a day or two, but just hadn't felt very good. Had a headache and so forth, and just kind of a stomach bug. But I'm back today, and today I'm going to do something different. Instead of working on the three bears today, I'm going to work on a little mini album for one of my grandkids that really loves bugs. She had a bug report or something at school at the end of last year, and she really loved finding all these different bugs. She did a really good job, and so she's really into the entomology. And so today I'm going to be using Tracie Fox. I'm going to be using her digital kit, which is the entomology kit, and she's got like part 1, 2, and 3. I'll link her down below, so if you're interested, you can go over to her Etsy shop and check her digital kits out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it's really a simple project. I have prepped for it because it would have took several videos for me to have gotten it ready, but I went ahead and inked everything, and I've already decided what's going to be on what page and so forth. There's not very many pages, and actually it's made out of a paper bag, the flat paper bags that you get and use in your journal kits and so forth when you make your junk journals. So let's get started. Now I've already poked a couple of the holes in the book, and I saved the last one to show you how I do it. You want to make sure all your pages are pushed in as tight as possible, and then you want to clip on the right side with the paper clip. For this particular thing, if you were doing a book, I would use a bigger clip, and on the opposite side, and you do it up toward the spine so that you can get it nice and snug. Now I'm going to stitch this the same way I would stitch any other book that I would bind like this. So I used a template, but on this it was so small I could just eyeball it and know, that I wanted it in the center, at the top, and the bottom of the spine. So you want to be sure you go straight down into your spine in order for it to come out in the crease back here, like these have here. I don't know if the light's too bright for you to see that or not. It's hard for me to tell, but you can see here in here. So if you hold this correctly, you want to get an old book is what I use, and this helps to poke the hose, and you just line up your awl right like that, and then I kind of pull the sides up. And sometimes, because I'm not the strongest person in the world, I will, let me see if I can get this where you can see better. I will stand. Now, you can pull these straight up, or you can bring one side down and push. Now, you just want to make sure you're going straight down through the book so that you end up on the seam where you have folded your envelopes over, which is what we've done. I don't know if you can see that. Let me push a little bit more. It's really fun to make these little mini books, but it's really time consuming, more than I expected. Okay, There we go. We have all of our little hoes in our book. So we're ready to start. Now, I'm going to get my pliers because I have had like four hand surgeries, and I want to be able to pull the thread through without any problems. Sometimes I have to use pliers because I don't have the strength in my hands I once did. So we're going to go ahead and just string this. This is a waxed string that you bind with, but you can use just about anything. I mean, I've seen people use floss, not floss, but, well, DMC floss is what I meant, like for stitching a kit or something, a cross stitch or something like that. Okay, you just come straight in through the middle and you pull. This is where I have trouble, is getting through. There we go. Now, you want to leave, you know, as much as you can here and not pull it through. So I'm just going to hook it onto that and see if I can. I don't know quite how much for this little book. I usually measure 3 times the book, the height of the book. And so that's just something you want to remember, is 3 times the height of the book. So now we're on the back side of the book, and we want to go, we came up through the middle, and we want to go down through the top or the bottom, either one, whichever works for you. And again, you want to pull. I thought this would be a lot easier, you know, for me, then I wouldn't have to use my pliers, but it's easier on my hands if I do. Now you're going to come all the way across to the next toe on the bottom and go back to the outside of the book. I'm going to go ahead and get my pliers. It'll just make life easier. There we go. Now, you want to tighten your spine up here. Make sure everything's really tight. Now, you'll have to be careful because this is paper. You don't want to rip it, but you want it tight enough that it's going to hold. And you want to go back down through the middle and come up. And be sure you don't grab hold of the string that you originally went down on, because it won't work for you if you do that. So you just kind of want to go beside it, come back up the middle. I'm trying to hold on to this needle so I don't tear a hole, the paper, so I don't tear a hole in my book. Okay, now I got to pull the thread through. Now you want to make sure everything is tight. I'm going to take the clips off. You want to make sure everything is nice and tight. I'm going to pull my needle off and pull up on that string, pull up on the second string. Now, you want to make sure the strings are on each side of this long string. Now, you do want to make sure everything is nice and tight. I'm going to kind of tug on it here and then pull back here, because you want the inside to be as tight as the outside, and which it is now. So you've got it like this. The string, the binding string is in the middle. You've got both your loose strings here. You just want to tie this in a double knot. And again, okay, now I don't cut this right away because I don't know what I'm going to do. So I usually just pull it down out of my way, down below. Now again, this is not like what your regular, it's not going to be, it's, if you were doing more than one signature, you would do the back signature first, then the second, and then the first, and so on. depending on how many signatures you were doing. And at some point, someday, I'll show you. I'll do the next time I do a little golden book, I'll try to do a video so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to start. I've already decided what I want my cover to look like. So I'm going to get out my Fabri-Tac or Fabric Fix, whichever you have. I think they're the same, to be quite honest. Now, I cut the ends off of my bags. And so inside each one, I didn't do a half circle punch there because I want it to look more book-like. But each one has a pocket. So each page has a pocket. There's 3 bags. Here's the first 2. See? And then I have an Edith Holden bag here that has butterflies and moths and caterpillars on it. And then here is the 3rd bag, which gives you the look of 6 pockets and 1 Edith Holden paper. I didn't put any tea stain paper in this because I didn't want it to be any more bulky than it's going to be. I just really was excited about using this digital kit. I knew my granddaughter would love it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put on some muslin. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here just to hold it down. I don't want a whole lot because I don't want it, it's not going to take that much to hold the fabric down. So you just want to kind of center it on your page or your cover. And you know, this is something that you can do in your junk journals as an embellishment. I mean, I think this would be fun, and I plan on doing that, especially if I do anything that, you know, has to do with nature. This would be great, and this kit would as well. So I have all these little, and I've inked everything. I thought I might put this notes, little ticket looking thing right there, and this floral right over the top. Now I'm trying real hard to not cover anything more than I have to, and I want to make sure I have a little bit of edge on my fabric here, and get it as straight as possible. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue down this big ticket, and try not to go crazy with the glue. Sometimes I want to leave it, I want to put enough on there that it will last forever. So I've been trying to be better so that I don't have to deal with anything seeping out. And I've been really successful at that. I feel like every day, you know, as a journaler, I feel like every day it gets a little easier to make them. You know, I've only been making them for probably 6 months, but I've caught on and I love it. And so, and I feel like every book I make gets a little bit better. And so, and I know that any of you out there who haven't made a journal, try it. I mean, you will absolutely love it. Now, if I didn't want to keep this flat as possible, this would be really pretty if you put it up on some foam tapes. And then I'm going to put this little beagle up here on the top. But because I'm going to use it in a junk journal or give it to my granddaughter, you know, I'll just have to see. I might fall in love with it. So I'm going to try not to cover up my floral any more than necessary. So I'm going to pull it as far over as I can. Isn't that a beautiful image? Oh my goodness. These images are just beautiful. Okay, so So I've got the butterfly on. So let's go ahead and put the beagle on. I had to really stop and think what each bug was on this kit because there's such a variety. And I had to take myself back to science or nature class or whatever it was called at the time. Okay, and I'm trying not to line everything up perfectly because you want it to look, you know, like you didn't give it a lot of thought and you just kind of plopped it down. And you want to make sure everything's straight. Now I'm going to put the, like the title, which I bet you can guess what it is. Yes, you're right. It's entomology. Which is kind of a tongue twister if you are not familiar with that term. I mean, it's not something we naturally use every day, but I've actually, not long ago, I purchased the Tim Holtz entomology stamps, which are awesome. And I think everybody is catching on to it. Look at this, is the front is complete. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see and bring it up a little bit. I hope you're able to see really well there. So that was super simple. The thing that took me the longest with this mini book was doing all the inking. And, you know, I could have sat here and just decided what page was going to be what with us together, but it really took me quite a while to ink. Although I will say, Tracie's kits are, they look pre-inked. So I was trying to find one I haven't inked so I could show you. Here's some butterfly ones that I haven't used in this kit, and you can see that they already look like they're inked. So all I had to do was ink the white part of the paper where I cut it out, and I copied mine on some Nina white cardstock. I think it's the 80-pound, but and then I of course inked the back, and so you want to be sure that you get that done. Now I can decide if I want to put anything in this pocket now, but I think I'm going to decorate the whole mini book first. And I think I'm going to do, I had this flashcard, and I just basically, and it, you know, of course stood for the entomology, and I just stapled that title on here, and I thought I'd put that on this page. Now, I think I'm going to make it like a tuck in case I want to go back and add a tag later. So I'm going to glue it on the side that faces the binding, and that way it gives you that option. Right now I don't have anything made to put into this tuck, but that's what I'm gonna do, because it has to make sense to be there. You know, you don't want to just stick something there and not be able to do multiple things with it if possible. So you have to always kind of think, how can I get the most journaling space and make the book look good as well. So there, and I'm just going to show you. I don't have a tag ready for this, but I may make one at the end if we have time. You can just tuck a tag in here. Okay, so on this other side, on the right side, I'm trying to get this little bit of glue that's wanting to escape. If you get it right away, it will make a huge difference. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to do the beagles. And so I thought what I would do is use this tag. Is it not adorable? I love it. And so I found this pocket in some of my stash, and I just inked it really well, and I'm going to glue it down. Now, I'm going to glue the whole thing on this because it's a little bit of a heavy tag, and I'm afraid if I don't, it won't stay on. So, because it's a double layered tag, and so I'm going to bring it down as far as I can because I do want my tag to stick up past my book, but I don't want it as tall as my book when I put it in the pocket. So now, because it's pretty heavy, you got to hold it for a minute and, you know, push down on it and make sure it's sticking really well. Doesn't take Fabri-Tac very long, and so I think you'll find this is a fun project. You know, I think it also, not only for your junk journals or your botanical books, but also you could do this as a card. How fun would that be to get something similar to this? You know, Tracie has florals, and I mean, she has so many different kits. I had a hard time deciding which one I wanted, although I knew I was going after the bugs. So I am going to, I like different textures. So this is the tag we're going to put in this pocket. And I'm going to make this is a piece of muslin, and I'm going to I folded it in half, and you want to make sure part of it's in the back and part of it's in the front. And it doesn't have to be perfect, like I've kind of got it leaning to the side there. To me, that's the best way to do it. I'm going to reach for my stapler, excuse me. I hope my big head didn't just show up because I probably look wild today. I've been working all morning, so, and all afternoon. Now this, because this is a double tag, you have to pay attention to where you're putting it, and it will slide right in as soon as you get it in that right spot. You could actually cut the back. You could have really, I mean, I could have cut the back of this pocket off if I would have wanted to. So I'm going to put some muslin here because I like that extra texture. And again, I'm not going to go crazy with it because I want it to kind of be loose around the edges, and I want it to look like it lifts in areas, which again gives it that dimension. And I'm just going to glue that down right there. And I really didn't measure this, so I couldn't tell you what size it is. I just kind of guessed. I probably could have made it a little bit wider, but it'd be fine. And then I just took my tear tool and just tore some vintage music sheet, and I'm going to glue that on top. And this paper, because it's so old, is very light, so it doesn't take a whole lot. And I'm going to center that on the muslin. There we go. Now, she also has in her shop these little mini tags, and they're adorable. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then she has the little titles of each of the insects or bugs, or so I'm going to just kind of put these on here. I don't want them to be perfectly straight, just kind of very random looking. That's how I like, you know, that's what I like to do. So I'm just going to kind of tilt it a little bit, and of course some of the glue's coming out right here. That's fine though. Okay, and then I'm going to put my title for this particular book. Now the title I am going to put straight. I just think that looks better right there. And get that little bit of glue that's driving me crazy right there. Rub it while it's wet. I hope you guys had a good weekend. We had a busy weekend. It was my granddaughter's birthday, and and we watched our little grandson for a couple hours. So there is that layout, the double page. So that's page 2 and 3. And we probably will go back if we have time and make a tag for this. Okay, now what I want to do is take, because, you know, this is still in the Beagle family, I'm going to put it in the pocket right behind it. Now, I may go back and add some kind of pull on here so that you know it's there, but definitely you want to leave it out. Don't stick it all the way in. And I can tell already that I probably will go back and put pulls in them, on them, I mean, whenever I'm done decorating my pages. Okay, so let me think for a minute which one I want to do next. Let's see. Some of them I have more that I want to put on than others. So here's an ant, and I don't know about you, but I don't like them. I do not like the ants. So what I'm going to do here, I was going to staple this, but since I have all this writing right here on the Edith Holden paper, I was going to put it over here on the right side, which I think design-wise it would look better, but I am going to do it right here, more toward the middle, so you can still see the insects and so forth there. Now, I was going to staple it, but I've kind of changed my mind. I'm thinking if I can get it straight, I'm just going to glue it across the back side. So, hopefully when I'm through gluing this, it's straight, because that would make a huge difference. I really don't want to cover up this butterfly on the other side, but I like the way this looks just coming over the top of the page. But you can still see the butterfly. There. Now that's the back side. Whoops. I think we're going to have to put a little bit right here, right across the very edge on the top. I don't like to put a lot on there because I don't want it to bleed through. I have plans to do a nature book, a nature or botanical, or maybe the combination of the two. Okay, making sure that's not sticking on this page over here. Sometimes you have to watch because it will bleed through your fabric. Let's see if I have a piece of paper or something I can put right here till it dries. Okay, now, so he looks so cute there, and especially since we have a moth and a butterfly and a caterpillar. Got to put the ant in there. He's always involved. Okay, now I am going to glue this down. This, although I'm thinking now that maybe I don't want it that tall, I'm going to make a pocket out of this. No, that'd be fine. That will work. So we're going to glue just the left and right side and the bottom down. Now, you want to measure this and make sure your tag will fit. And if not, you can cut the sides of your tag and make it smaller, or you can make your pocket bigger. So, we're going to center this on the page. And you're going to have glue come out because I wanted to make sure that it was really secure. Now, if this was not bags, I personally probably would have sewn it on. And you could even, if you have a lot of time, I didn't today, but if you have a lot of time, you could stitch around this and then glue it down since it's bags. And that would probably look better. Or you could do a faux stitch if you preferred. Okay. Let's see. Just that glue just wants to fight you every battle it can. It's like crazy. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. I just don't like the little, I don't want my pages to stick together, so I'm real careful to make sure there's no glue. Okay, now that's this pocket. And I know that I have the entomology title on the tag, but I also want it out here, I think. And I don't know if I want it up here or if I want it over here. I don't know. Maybe right here so that it's kind of combines the two pages. I'm going to take some sari silk. I don't always put a topper on my tags. Now I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. But I want to put, because I've got it in this small book, I'm just going to fold the sari silk over. And you can staple it all to the front, or you can do it on both sides. And I'm going to put this one all to the front, so it will be different. And sometimes you have to put 2 staples, but it just took 1. And see, the back doesn't have the sari silk, but that's fine. We're not going to be looking at the back any more than necessary. But it would work fine. It looks fine either way because it gives it more texture. Now, obviously my pocket is, you know, still wet, so I don't want to put that in there until the tag in, until I know my pocket is dry. So let's go ahead and put this title on here. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it on the same pocket. You know, as you're going along making your embellishments, sometimes I don't think of what I want to do until I get to that point, and then so I decided I wanted it to look like this. And so I had already made my tag and stapled the name on it, but that's okay. As soon as this dries, I'll come back and put that in the pocket because it's still pretty wet. And if you ever have problems getting your tag in your pocket, all you have to do is just, like I said, just, you know, cut a little bit off the sides, ink it, and it will work. I've had that happen to me numerous times, and it really doesn't change the way the design looks. Okay, now we're going to flip the page and come over here, and trying to decide. I have a lot of bumblebee things, and oh, I know what I wanted to do. I thought I had another I was going to put something else in this pocket, but I think I'm going to wait and I can come back and do that. Okay, now we're going to flip it over, and I really don't want to do much on this page, but I have this really cute little beetle bug. Isn't that cute? On this very mini tag. And I was going to tuck it somewhere, but I kind of like him just being stuck on this page because he's so cute. And he needs to stand alone. That's just how I feel. I've been trying to kind of keep my bugs in order. That sounds kind of weird. My bugs in order, like next to each other in the book, because of the learning curve, you know, for my granddaughter. But that's not all that important. I just think this background, you know, I can just see a ladybug crawling up the stem. Okay, so now let's see what we've got. We've got caterpillars, we got bees. I think I have enough to do a double page on the bees. So let me see how many caterpillars I have. You know what? I think on this page, one of her kids also has these fabulous envelopes. And so, and she's got them where you just cut them out. And they're beautiful. And she's pre-inked them. And I mean, you can go back and ink them a little bit if you want, but that's totally up to you. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here on each side. Try not to do too much because you don't want to glue it closed. And then just glue your envelope like that. Now, I will find an extra card and I will slip it inside. And gotta hold that down a minute so it will hold before I do that. But look how cool. Is that not the coolest thing? I think that's a bee. It's what I'm calling it. I'm almost positive. I'm trying to decide if I want that bee or this bee. Let me think. Let's do just the ordinary bee. And then another thing that I'm going to do is I will come back and I will put a tab or something on here as well, so that when you open this, you know to pull it out that you've got a little surprise inside the envelope. Now, I need to get a paper clip. I'm sorry. Thought I had everything I needed, but I want to paper clip this little envelope down in my book. Now, you can paper clip it all the way over your whole page, but then you're covering up your pocket. So I'm going to try just sliding down into the pocket and doing it like this. That way I can put my paper clip inside the pocket as well when I clip it down. And see, you don't see it on the other side, and you can still put cards or little secret journaling inside. So now we're going to flip over to our next page. And I think this time we're going to do, let's do the bees. So on the bees, which is going to be your center layout here, I cut out the music sheet and inked it for the right side of the page. So, yeah. When I get those little edges, if they're long like this one, move your little strings over so they don't interfere. Now you can go back after you're all through if you want and, you know, put some beads on here, and I might do that when it's all dried and everything. So there's the base. Now, the decision I have to make, I don't know which ones to use. I'm trying to decide. I think he's too big for over here. I don't want to turn him sideways, but he will fit over here if you bring him all the way to the edge. But then I wouldn't be able to tuck him into a pocket like I want to. So I think what I'm going to do, I made this cute little file folder, and I used a ticket and just a little regular bumblebee, and I put the bee title here on the tab, and I stapled on this side so that's, you know, it would hold my cards. And I cut down one of her tags, and I punched a hole in the corner, and I tied a string with some of the different bees. How cute is that? I love that. I had never thought of that idea, and I just couldn't decide which one I wanted to put in there, so I thought I'll just put them all in there. So even though she has a kit that has tags and the names of the insects and envelopes and so forth, and the journaling cards, you can change it up to however it helps you the best. And so I'm trying to decide. I think I decided to put this on this side, but for some reason I thought I had something else to go there with it. Let me look for 1 second here. I might have I might have misplaced it, but that's okay. So I also thought that this bee card would look good over here, but I think it's too busy. So you could also glue down both sides of the back of this little index card, not index card, but little file card, and you could slide a tag behind there. So maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll just glue down both sides. Don't glue your little string, because you'll lose what's inside. And then we can put a little tag right back here. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Now hold your string to the front, and remember, as little as possible on the back, because you want your tag to fit in on both sides. And this side with staplers, you want to put maybe a little bit more so it holds better. And then across the bottom of your little file folder. Now, I'm going to put it down on the bottom of the page as far down as you can. We will go back and make a we'll make a tag to go in here, because I still have some things left over. I don't know if I have any more bees, but we'll see. We'll see. I can always print some more. Okay. And you don't have to have, you know, things on there. You can use a stamp or whatever, but when I do a book like this, I really want to kind of keep it cohesive with, you know, everything that you're decorating with. I don't know if you can tell or not, but on Tracie's digital files, she's stamped you know, her artwork. When she made it originally, she stamped the background, inked the circle, and with it, and has the image on it, and then she has music sheet in the background, and then another circle. So it's really cool the way she's done it. Very creative, and it really takes away a lot of the work whenever you start decorating. Okay, I'm looking here to see what all I have left over here, and I don't think I have any more of the bees, but that's okay. We'll put a tag here. Let me find a tag I like. We'll come back and decorate it. Right there. I'll have to ink it and so forth, and then we'll come back and decorate it. All right, so we're going to move on to the next page. Oh, we didn't glue this down. Now, I have this where it's reversible. So I may staple this, not staple, but paper clip this down. I don't know. I've got to think about that. Because see, I have this other one on the back, which maybe that's what I intended to do with this when I originally decorated it. And you can, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have this bee in here, and when you pull it out, you can flip it and see that there's actually two different types. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this is dry before I do anything else. Now, we'll just use this side to start our next layout. Oh, I don't know though. I really like this big bee. We could cut him down and ink him if we wanted to, but we're getting low on time. So I think what we're going to do is tuck him into this pocket and move along. And I'll come back and do this. We'll move on to the caterpillar. I was looking to see how many pages we had left. I wanted to make sure we had plenty for everything. All right. Let's see. We have the little caterpillar, and I cut the one down and made him a little smaller, but oh my goodness, you may have to go to the next page. see if this page is a little bigger. It is. We'll go over here. And you can bounce around. It doesn't matter. We're going to glue him down and make a pocket out of him. And I have made a little tag for this one as well. Okay. Such a beautiful image. You want to pull your tag as far to the right as you can so that your book doesn't get bulky in the middle, because it's getting fuller, and the fuller it gets, the further back it gets more bulky. Okay, and I made this little caterpillar tag, and so we're going to put that right in here. This isn't quite dry enough, but need to hold this down for a second. We'll take this other caterpillar. Isn't he cute? We're going to put him in the pocket right here. And again, I'm going to go back and put something on those, whether it's just a piece of scrap that I have or something, just so that it doesn't go all the way down into the pocket. Kind of keeps it up a little bit like this, because that's the way I like it to look. Now we're going to go over here quickly, and time is running out, so I don't want you guys to miss out on how it's going to look at the end. We've got the butterflies to do. So, and I have more butterfly items, I think, than anything. Oh, the butterflies are beautiful, guys. She just did such a good job. Oh, and the moth. Let me see. We still have this page back here that we could put some of it on. Let's see. It's hard to decide because it's all so neat. How about we do the one of the butterflies here? I think this might be big enough for right in here. Yes, it's real close. I think I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. Now, because I'm cutting it down, let me see what size my tag is. Oh, my tag is, if I use this tag, oh no, this tag goes on a bag. Okay, we're good there. Must be this other tag I planned on using. Okay, I'm going to cut it down. And I'm just going to use scissors because of time. And I'm going to round the edges because I like that look. And again, I want to keep it cohesive. And you'll just take your ink and do those edges because they'll look white if you don't. Okay. My ink is, as usual, it's volcanoing out of its bottle, as Gail puts it. Okay. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to my channel. It means a lot to me. It just makes the whole process even more fun. I do this because I love it, and that's really the only reason. I'm retired and I have a lot of time on my hands, and when I'm not playing babysitter as a grandma, I'm in my craft room, and I love it. Look how beautiful that butterfly is. Oh my goodness. I wish I could just look out the window and see that same butterfly every day. It's so pretty. All right, now, I know I made a little tag right here. Look at these two cute ones. This is a tag that I made out of some card that had music notes on it. And this is just a little piece of scrap. Sorry, silk. So we're going to slide that in right there. Now, we can put our butterfly title here, or we can wait and put it on the next page. I think we'll put it on the next page, past the caterpillar. Okay, so in here, we still have that card, so we want to come here, because we still have plenty of room for, to do our butterflies. Now, I have this bag. It's just a little white bag that I inked. It's the same as the type of bag that we made our little journal, mini journal out of. So I'm going to ink the back and put plenty on there because it's heavier than your normal. Just try to keep it from the edges, so that will help a little bit. I'm trying to think. I think I want to put it, trying to think which side I want to put it on. Let's just do it over here. And I'm going to pull it more to the side so that it's not so bulky in the center of the spine. And then we'll decorate the front of our little bag. Okay, let me think for a second. How did I want to decorate that? Maybe I was going to use the music sheet. I think I was. I cut one of the tags down to fit into this bag, and I also put it on the other side, and it has a little pocket right here. So I may go back and make a mini tag to slip down in here. But I try to always think, how can I make more space? So there we go. And this is just a scrap that I cut off the bottom of the tag. And I just used it as, you know, an element there on the tag. So there's your tag tucked in. You want to let this dry really good. Okay, now, I know I was going to put something on top of this, and I'm trying to remember what now. Oh, I know. I was going to put these two little butterflies on there. Let's put this on here first, the music sheet. Okay. All right, now I have these two small butterfly images. These are the mini. Gonna put one, one right here. Kind of center them. These I am gonna put in here straight, just to make it different. Okay, and here's another butterfly. Put it on here. I'm trying to hurry so we can do a flip through at the end. There we go. Now, I'm going to put butterfly here at the top. Now you can, just use your imagination. This kit can take you everywhere. And it's, you can just do anything. You could put it in the middle. You could put it at the bottom on the side. Let's put it on the side. Let's be different. And actually, I would probably leave a little bit of a space there if I had room. There. As soon as that dries, I'll get rid of a little bit of that glue there since I moved it. One thing I hate is seeing glue on my pages, but sometimes it happens. You can't help it, but I really try not to. Okay, now I'm thinking, what do I want to put across here? Because I feel like it needs something. Let me see what I've got laying here to use. Let's put a little bit of sari silk across there. Now, I cut it a little big so that I can actually do it kind of like a ruffle, because I like the way that looks. And what I do is I just kind of take it and poof it up a little bit in the middle. Make sure the edges are kind of at the ends, or the ends are at the edges of the envelope. But if you kind of just glue it and just kind of plop it down there and then kind of push it up, Gives it more of a ruffle effect. And my hands are sticky, so it's wanting to stick to me. There we go. Sometimes I put a little bit, if it doesn't lay like I want it to, I just put a little bit inside the ribbon and then just fold it over. There. And it is still wet, so beware when you turn your pages until everything dries. You'll have to pay attention to that. Okay, so this tag is in there and ready. So on this side, this butterfly is going to go, let me see if I want to put it in the right pocket. No, I think I'm going to put it in the left. Now there's already one in for the previous page, but you just put it on this side. And again, I'm going to add tabs to these. And I might put them together and just add one tab. So when you pull it out, it's one card. But you know, you just have to be creative and think of other ways to do it. I am going to put some muslin on this side and finish up the butterflies. And again, I don't put it around the edges because I like to have that dimension and texture there. Now, this is going to be the base of the page. Kind of like what a mat would be if you were doing a photo or something. And we sort of are. Okay, now I have 2 tags to use. Oh, that's not the right one. That goes with the other one. So I really just have this tag, and I know there's another butterfly around here somewhere. I just don't know what I did with it. But, you know, we'll find it. So we're just going to kind of lean this one to the right. And it's just a ticket, and it's got some, I just went blank. What is it called? It's the bandage-like stuff, and I use it all the time, and I know the name of it. It'll come to me in a minute, and I'll tell you. Anyway, we're going to glue this on. And I could make a tuck out of this if I wanted to, but because I have really been trying to use as much of the kit as I could, I don't want to do that. Look here how pretty that looks. Cheesecloth. That is cheesecloth. I'm like, I know what that is. And I have tea stained it, so I think it looks better when you can tea stain it. Okay, so the last page, let me see if we have any other blank pages that we need to fill in. We could fill in this one too. Oh, let me think. This goes here. But I think I don't know if this tag will fit in here. That's my problem. So I may make a tuck out of this tag. But I think I will glue it on the inside so it can tuck from the outside. That way, it'll look better. From a design perspective, I think it would. So I'm going to bring it down as low as I can and over to the left as much as I can. So that it, you're still getting to see your music notes here. I'm going to hold this for a second. I'm going to put this little tag in here since this is dry by now. And I kind of just pull it up as far as I can. And I like my strings hanging out. So we'll come back and put a tuck in here or something in here. I don't know what it will be yet, but we will. Or I will, whenever it's all dry. Okay, I was going to go back and make sure we didn't have any blank pages, and we don't. Everything is working out. Okay, I think this is turning out to be a cute little mini album. Okay, so we got this butterfly done. So let's flip over. Here's the caterpillar. He's all done. Got our butterflies done, and we really only have this one page to do a moth. So we've got to decide what we want to put on here. Do we want to put the tag on here and do it as a tuck? But see, this is kind of getting rounded at the sides here, so I think I'm going to do something flatter, which is still going to show you all the different moths. So I was going to make this into a tag, but I'm thinking now, let me think, maybe I want to do like this. Let me fiddle with it for a second. Of course, it's crooked a little bit. That'll work. Let's just do that. We're going to glue this tag down, which is really a ticket. And I'm putting it more to the left than to the right because of the bulk. Want to slide around because it's still, the glue is still wet. Okay, I'm going to glue the circle at the top, and we don't need to put any pockets or anything like that on the back because it's like the back cover. Bring that up as far as you can to the top of the page, center it. And I'm going to glue these little mini moths down. I'm going to bring it over as far as I can, but not where it will curve too much. Got to hold it for a second. And our last moth. This has been such a fun project. I hope you guys have had fun. And I hope you'll go over and check out Tracie's shop. And I'll link her Etsy store down below. And she's also on YouTube. So go check her out if you haven't. I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about. She's very good at what she does. She's so talented and she's fun to listen to and watch. Whoops. I'm gluing myself here. I think I'm going to go ahead and fill in this blank spot with this title. Okay. Let me hold it for a second. Hope you guys have had fun today. I will get back on the 3 little bears, and thank you to all my new subscribers. I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up today. Go visit Tracie's shop, and I'll see you back in a day or two. Hopefully a day, if things go like I plan. I still have some stitching to do on the three little bears. Okay, now here we go. We're going to do a flip through. There's the title. We got to hurry because we have gotten, here's a tuck space. Here's the beagles. And we got our little cards, journaling cards down here. And here's our tag. What did I do with my, I know I have another, oh, I was going to make a tag. That's what it was. So I'll just put that there for right now. And then our ant flip. Edith Holden and our little ladybug, our envelope, which has a card inside. And here is a bee, our bee page with our bee photos. And more here. This is more on the other side. Now here's your butterflies and Edith Holden paper. This is a tag. We've got a butterfly tucked inside, or I thought we did. Maybe I put it on the other side. I'll get another one. And here's the caterpillar tag. And I've also tucked a caterpillar inside. And on this side, I have a tag in a bag. That sounds weird, tag in a bag. Sounds like Cat in the Hat. And then we just finished, let me get that back in there. Might have to trim my little tag just a tiny bit. And then here's the ticket with the beautiful blue butterfly. And on the back page we have the moths. I hope you've had fun today. And I'm going to also add this cute little butterfly dangle to the side of the book here. I'm just going to clip it on a page and let it dangle. You could flip it, you could do it from the top, or you can do it from the bottom, or the side, I mean. There you go. So, I hope you've had fun today. See you guys next time. Bye.